I remember reaching out to Don Coscarelli just as a fan, and he was so generous and so sweet and forthcoming and shared all these great stories. And when I was lucky enough, and I won't make this long because it's late, when I was lucky enough to direct this pilot for the show called Alias, I thought, well, there's this one part that could be really cool. Maybe I could get Angus Scrimm to be in it. And so I called Don, and Don was like, yeah, call Angus and ask him. And, you know, for any of you who don't know, Angus was an incredible and sweet and gentle, kind and very talented actor. And he actually had won a Grammy for writing liner notes. I mean, the guy was just, you know, he was didn't quite go with the tall man. But anyway, so I had him asked if he would be in this movie, this pilot. He said yes. And we were working together. And he was only working for one day. And we were shooting, and it was like 1 a.m., and it was like 2 a.m., it was really late, and I felt really bad, and, you know, he was an older gentleman, and so we were sitting there, and it was kind of cold. I remember we were in this place, and he was so sweet to be there, and when he would speak, he had this accent. He sounded like James Mason. He spoke like James Mason. It would sound like this, and we were talking, and it was like literally 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, the fuck am I doing keeping him up, you know, this late? I feel so guilty. But we're talking, and he's just telling me stories about being in the theater and all this stuff. And I was like, Angus, where are you from? Because I was wondering where the actor is. He's like, Kansas City. It was fantastic. It was all, he was an actor at a different time. I love this movie so much. I wish, of course, he were here tonight. I love this movie so much that when we were working on Star Wars, and we had this amazing design that Michael Kaplan's people did for Captain Phasma in Star Wars Force Awakens. I called her Phasma because it reminded me of Phantasm, because she was chrome, like the ball in this movie. I just gotta say, I thank you guys and gals for being here and for supporting this restoration. We did it at Bad Robot. I want to thank everyone at Bad Robot, Ben Rosenblatt, who oversaw this restoration. We did it all in-house, and it's the first and only restoration we've done because I love this movie so much, and talking to Don, we realized that it deserved it, and we're thrilled to be able to present it to you. And mostly, I want to introduce the warped and twisted but incredibly kind soul who conceived of this thing and has haunted all of our dreams since seeing it for the first time. So please give a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the director and writer, Mr. Don Coscarelli.
Thank you, JJ. Now I understand why he decided that the culture needed a restored Phantasm. So anybody out there seen Phantasm? Yeah! Anybody seen it twice? Yeah! Okay. 10 times? Yeah! 20? Yeah! Okay, that's good. Well, this is the first time you'll see it probably the way that we intended it to be. And I want to quickly just thank a few people. First off, Mr. Ben Rosenblatt, who quarterbacked this thing. And he was the one who would call me up on Tuesday nights and say, hey, we're done working on Star Trek or Star Wars. Get over here, we're going to work on Phantasm. So it was really wonderful. And also so nice to see JJ realize that tonight really is a tribute to Angus. You know, Angus was a towering figure in horror, and yet a very modest man. He refused, his wishes were that there would be no funeral, no memorial service, but Angus, tonight, this is your memorial service. So, without further ado, Phantasm Remastered. And we'll be around afterwards to talk and answer questions. Thank you.